What is it about our human brains where we are so abusive to ourselves? So I thought I would talk about judgment today because it's what I'm in the middle of, and thought that you might be in the middle of it too. And we could go along on this journey together, dealing with the voice in our head that likes to beat us up all the time and see if we can't find ourselves in a better place by the end of this time together. I'll tell you what I've learned so far. I'll tell you what I've gotten so far from this life dealing with judgment. And that is, we think that we're afraid of other people judging us. I mean, I always did. I thought I was afraid of other people judging me, that somehow that determined my self worth, my self value. Maybe people weren't going to like me. I wasn't going to have any friends. Whatever life disaster happens, and fast forward, you're now homeless, right? That's always the worst case scenario, is you're going to end up being homeless. But I've learned that the judgment that I'm actually afraid of is the judgment in my head. Because, like, if it's something that I don't really care about, or somebody that, like, there's a lot of things I could be all sorts of wild and weird in public and not really care what people think of me. It's really about what I think of myself. I think that we project our own judgments about ourselves on other people and look to them to judge us, when really the healing that we're looking to heal is our own self judgment. I think this is a challenge that every human being deals with. That's what, unless you're awakened. If you're awakened and you've got it, good on you. You got it. But for the rest of us, I think that we all have so much judgment. I think part of that is biology. I think probably it helped us survive. When we were self critical and looking at what we could do to be better, to fit in with the tribe better, we probably had better survival outcomes. But of course, as we know, things that worked well in the cave doesn't work well in the conference room or in our just day-to-day lives. There's definitely a biological component, which means it's providing us some sort of an opportunity while we're here in this human vehicle, this human form. And if you watched my video on the 4 goals, our 4 spiritual goals, I realized that there are kind of 4 things that we are working on. And one of that is love. The ultimate truth, when you boil all of this stuff down to the core truth, the core truth is that we are beings of love. God is love. Everything is made up of God. Therefore, everything is made up of love. We're surrounded by love. Why do we not feel it? Why, if we are made of love and everything around us is love and God is love, and that's our spiritual goal, why do we feel so unloved? Why do we feel so lost in this hard world where we beat ourselves up and then we invite people around us to create situations that continue to beat us up? I think we are trying to find our way back to love. And we're doing it through the experience of contrast. This judgment beats us up so much, and it is so hard that at some point we have to throw down our arms and say, I give up. Like, I can't do this anymore. I can't be pushed around anymore by these thoughts of how I'm not worthy. And when we get to that place where we just surrender and say, you know what? This is who I am. I'm a hot mess. I do things wrong all the time. I'm not a perfect person. And yet I still deserve to love myself. And everybody deserves to love themselves, even if you are a horrible person. Like, if this is strength training, I often use that analogy. We're here on earth to learn these lessons and have these challenges because it makes us stronger. Like, you go into the gym, you lift a heavy weight, you get stronger. We're really trying to get strong when it comes to love. That's what I think this planet Earth is about. We're really trying to push ourselves so much into such a place of not feeling love that once we crack open, we become immensely powerful beings. One of the things that has helped me is to realize that this voice in the head, this critical voice, this judgmental voice, is not me. And I mean, we know that, right? We've read Eckhart Tolle. We know about the ego. But it can be very seductive to think that this voice is you. What has helped me is to give the voice in my head a name. I have given that voice the name Missy. Missy, there goes Missy again. And I use it not only for when the voice is being critical of me, but also the voice in my head, the ego, likes to stir up drama. It has me replay the same conversations over and over again, like a battle. Like maybe if I keep on thinking about it, I'll find my way out of this conversation to a place where I feel okay with it. But when I'm able to say, oh, this is Missy. Missy's stirring up some trouble. Missy's stirring up some shit, right? Missy's up to no good. Then it allows me to say, oh, it gives me this space. It gives me breath, right? To be able to say, that's not me. I don't think that. And then what I have found really helpful is then I go, what do I think? Once I label, this is Missy talking, what does Jillian think about this? What does Jillian have to say? And then the voice comes out to say, oh, I think I'm actually doing okay given the circumstances, right? Or whatever the story or the situation is, my truth then is allowed to come out once I'm able to take this voice and make it separate from me and give myself a little bit of distance. And then I will tell you, just even going through that right now, like energetically, I feel more open. I can feel a shift. Like just talking through that, just explaining that story and just identifying Missy in this moment, I feel clearer and more open and more me. I think that's what we all want to get down to. We're all just trying to get through all of this garbage that's on us. The garbage of society's expectations and our past life trauma that's sticking with us, and the ego voice in our head, and all of the things. We just want to clear that all off so that we can get back to who we really truly are. Because who we really truly are is friggin' awesome. Is friggin' awesome. So let's be that. Like, let's excavate ourselves. Let's find out who we are and let's stop letting this voice run our life. So, on that note, if you want to watch my 4 spiritual goals, I think it's a good one. I think it ties into that. I think it ties into this concept that we've been talking about. I'll put it right here so that you can see what other goals we're getting up to in this human incarnation. Talk to you later. Bye.